What's up, everybody? Etchy here from Dead Draw Gaming, bringing you some post-rotation tabletop gameplay. Jake Gearhart and I recorded a few tabletop matches in the Temporal Forces format, and for this first one, we'll be showcasing Great Tusk Mill versus Lugia. We planned these matches ahead of time, but neither of us practiced this specific matchup before, so it's sort of a collaborative match where we're both figuring out more about our decks and the matchup. We just ended up taking the recent list from the Champions League in Japan, but after the match, I'll go over some of the new inclusions in Great Tusk Mill specifically. This is our first time recording tabletop gameplay for the channel, so the lighting's a bit rough, but will be better for future recordings when we do this again. If you'd like to see more tabletop content in the future, be sure to let us know what kind of stuff you'd want to see in the comments below. And if you enjoy this, be sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. All right, we are getting started with our Great Tusk Mill versus Lugia matchup. I am Etchy. Joining me is the one and only Jake Gearhart. Jake, how do you feel about this matchup? Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready. I think it's a pretty good matchup for Lugia. We'll start off with the coin flip.
Oh, yeah, good point, yeah.
Do you want heads or tails? Okay.
All right, tails.
I will go... I don't know. You don't really do anything turn one, but you can also miss an attack turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think you still have to go first as Lugia, because the sooner you attack, the faster you win.
Yeah, so. Then I'll go first.
Yeah, sounds good. Both of us are very inexperienced with this matchup. However, I have been playing a lot of Mill. I've also mulliganed, so there you go. Enjoy. What I like a lot about Mill so far is just how kind of versatile it feels sometimes, mostly because of Great Tusk having that 160 damage attack. Just being able to kind of...
Okay, we lost our
we have lost our die. Wednesday, please don't eat it. As long as you don't eat it, we are good. I'm going to go get that really quickly. The dice has been recovered, so we are fine now. So I'm just shuffling up for another mulligan here. But yeah, this deck's felt pretty good so far. I've been very surprised with how solid some of the matchups feel. However, I feel like a lot of people are pretty split on Mill, and a lot of people think it's pretty underwhelming. What do you think about it?
I think it's got a bit of a polarizing matchup spread.
Mm-hmm.
Some decks in the format are much more resource intensive, like Lost Box and maybe even Chen Pao or something. But and then Great Tusk also being able to hit for like fighting weakness does actually make a big difference in some matchups. But I think one of the benefits of Lugia in this case is that I'm going first.
Oh, right. My bad.
Yeah, you're good.
Judge.
Okay. Yeah, one of the benefits of Lugia in this case is that it's very resource minimalist, I guess. Mm-hmm. As soon as you get the Archeops in play and ready, you're rolling.
Yeah, especially in this specific matchup where I don't generally want to take KOs, especially early on. So you kind of... Usually the problem is your Chinchinos die really fast, and then you lose all the resources attached to them. But that's not an issue in this matchup until way late in the game. And I just kind of have to mill a lot of energy before I could even consider attacking. And in general, I got to mill a lot.
Yeah, so I'll start off with a Capturing Aroma. Since I know the Great Tusk deck has to play the Ancient Supporters, my hand is not going to get disrupted at all. So right now I have a Great Ball and an Archeops in my hand, so I'm just going to try and thin my deck out of things I don't want, so that next turn my Great Ball has a higher chance of hitting, and that I have a higher chance of top decking Archeops here. So yeah, I'll take the Lugia V. There's an argument as well to just leave cards in the deck so that the Great Tusk.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of extra time, but I feel like with this deck playing Iono, it's not too bad to take cards out of the hand, out of the deck immediately. As long as I don't bench them, I don't want to get my Lugia trapped at all. So I'll just go ahead and pass over to you.
All right, this is unfortunate. This top deck has to be good. It is. Oh, I saw it already earlier, but it is okay. Unfortunately, my hand is pretty dead here, so I'm basically forced to go ahead and grab Radiant Greninja, assuming it is available. It is available. I do really need another Great Tusk down, because there is a potential for this one to die this turn, but I just really need to see cards here. I really need to get a draw supporter. If I could get one of my Ancient Supporters, then I'm good to go, because I already have a double turbo in hand. I can start milling. But the number one priority for me here is, regardless of supporters, I just need to get another Great Tusk down. Shuffle that up. Then I will discard one of my many fighting energies for conceal cards. I did get an Explorer's Guidance. Let's go. So this is going to be look at the top 6 cards of my deck and put 2 of them in my hand, discard the rest. This is similar to an older card, right?
Yeah, Hapu existed during the Sun and Moon era. It was a pretty niche card. Didn't see much play in a lot of things. Like some control decks played it just to thin towards the bottom of the deck faster with Oranguru's resource management, putting cards from the bottom of your deck, or putting cards from your discard pile back into the bottom of your deck, so you have to get down there quickly. But aside from that, that supporter didn't see all that much play. It's also similar to Sage's Training, which was a card during the Heart Gold Soul Silver era, but it looked at the top 5, and you choose 2 and discard 3. So that's a more hefty cost with this this new Explorer's Guidance.
Yeah, I was in kind of a weird situation where I probably should have played Earthen Vessel before I tried to dig for Explorer. I got lucky, but I also had so much energy in hand that I probably would have thinned out 1 card anyway. So I think I still hold it here. I don't think there's really a need to play it right now. And then I will just ground collapse, discard 4 cards.
All right. Got a couple energies
Good energy.
down.
Not too bad, not too bad.
Luckily, I've got 17 of them, so it'll be a little while before they go away. Okay, so I kind of need this Great Ball to hit here. I have a Jacques in my hand. Yeah, not really any good ways to discard stuff. I've got the Serena, which can maybe help me draw a little bit, but I'd have to bench some of my Pokemon, which I don't want to do. So I'll just Great Ball.
Let's see what we get.
And I do hit the Archeops, so I can get them in the discard pile, but I don't really have a good way of finding the Lugia V-Star this turn. Let me see if I can thin down my hand, maybe, but I don't
Is Jacques
wanna...
only non-rule box?
No, Jacques, I can get it with the Jacques, but I can't discard the Archeops
Gotcha.
if I play the Jacques.
I know we were talking on the DDG podcast about how it's sometimes okay now in this new format for Lugia just to read the wind for a couple turns. And this might be one of those situations where you could do that, I guess.
Yeah, so I think I can go and play a bunch of Pokemon, but that would be kind of I don't know if it's too risky. I think since my I can collapse away this Lugia V right away, so I don't have to worry about the 2 retreat getting stuck in the active, and I have these Minchinos, so I guess I can thin down quite a bit. I guess I can't play the collapse until I've Summoning Starred, so that doesn't work. Well, I'll do this either way.
Yep.
And then I think I am just going to go for playing as many cards as I can and drawing 3 and seeing if I hit the Lugia here, because an attack would be huge.
Yeah, I think one of the things that stuck out to me a lot looking at the Lugia list post-rotation, not just the Champions League list, but other lists too, is it feels like it's one of those decks that technically should have gotten less consistent because we lost like Professor Burnett. And this list in particular plays 1 Luminion too. However, it was still consistent enough to win the biggest best-of-1 event like ever. So to some degree, it's still working, and I'm excited to see how it kind of works out in these test games.
Sadly, I missed the Great Ball there, so
Okay.
I do have the Jacques in my hand, though, so I don't think I'm going to go for the Read the Wind because I don't want to draw more cards than I have to. I've already strained my resources a little bit, so I'll just go ahead and pass over to you.
Yeah, and, these are also the only 2 Great Balls in the entire deck for Jake here, so it is kind of interesting just how little search is left for Pokemon outside of the Jacques you have, and then the 4 Ultra Balls, of course, and then Capturing Aromas. Draw for turn here. So this is pretty interesting. I did draw the Airy, but I don't think it's a good time to use that in particular right now, especially because of what is in the discard pile. We already see those 2 Archeops. It doesn't really seem like it'll matter too much. I can definitely save that for later. This is definitely going to be a Sada turn. I'm going to go ahead and conceal cards, first of all. Actually, do I want an Earthen Vessel already? I'll go an Earthen Vessel. I don't think there's anything really worth grabbing here. I might have 1 energy. But I do want to thumb through the deck because I didn't get a great look earlier. There is 1 energy. No harm in grabbing it in this scenario. The Lugia list does play, I believe, 3 Iono. So it's a little bit scary to grab it. So maybe actually that's enough reason to not grab it. And I have plenty in hand. So I'm going to fail it and going to go ahead and shuffle up.
Yeah, leaving more outs on the deck for Radiant Greninja off an Iono is
exactly,
not bad. But at the same time, you don't have to be too worried because he'll always be drawing 6 off.
Yeah,
the bed,
that's the best part of this deck is Iono is usually good for you when it does come down. So I'm going to go ahead and Did I did not conceal cards yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Conceal cards. I did get another Tusk. I don't necessarily need to play it right now, so I'm going to...
I don't think there's any downside to playing it now. You've already got
because I think
one.
what because I don't want to attack with this, so I think I just solder these two then.
Yep.
So I'm going to solder these two. Because generally, in some matchups, you don't really want to put the Tusk down until you have the tool in hand ready to go, but it's not really going to be relevant because you're always going to one-shot my Tusk, even if I have a lot of energy on it. The only benefit really is I can make a Cinccino require one extra card to one-shot my Great Tusk if I have a tool attached, but not super critical. I'm going to go ahead and play this Heavy Ball, see what we got in our prizes. Ooh, Hero's Cape prize is a little unfortunate because that's the tool that requires multiple extra cards for the Cinccino to knock me out. But we are not going to have access to that probably the entire game, so I'm going to shuffle that up.
Yeah, that would be a big factor in changing things because I'd have to move this Lugia out of the active, which currently I have no reason to not just attack for 220 every turn.
All right, and then I will Ground Collapse for 4 cards.
All right, 2 more energies gone.
That's pretty good. I also think it's really funny that the scary thing for my deck in this matchup is sometimes I can help you get Archeops in the discard.
That's true, yes. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the Lugia V Star. I'm not going to take anything else because I don't want to draw too many cards, and then I'll go for the Summoning Star.
Yep.
And I'll use a Primal Turbo. Yeah, there's not really any difference between a lot of my energy cards. I just want to play as few as possible, so or take as few as possible out of the deck. So I can go for just an attachment from a double turbo and then attach from hand. And I still got a double turbo left over. Yeah, I think I'll just do the 1 on there. And then attach for turn.
Yep.
And I will go for a Tempest Dive, and I'll get rid of my Stadium card, so I have access to Luminion if necessary.
I'll promote my 1 Great Tusk. I will draw for turn. Let's see. Remember to take your prize card. There's no reason for me to not... there's... Let's see. So right now the Tempest Dive does 200. Please, cat, do not mess with the deck. It is okay. So even if I get a booster capsule here, the Lugia is still one-shotting me, so the only tool that would be worth potentially digging for here is that Hero's Cape, but I do not have it available, so I'm going to Nest Ball, start things off here. Mimikyu is definitely an option that is good in a lot of matchups, but not really going to be relevant here. The only thing it can be good for me to do is just to thin out more energy, because I'm going to force you to retreat with it, but I just need to mill, so we're just going to not worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and grab another Great Tusk. It's from last turn.
Yeah, so I have 27 cards left in the deck right now. So each turn, you'll mill 4. I have to draw 1. So I think I have just enough time.
So out of these two?
To end up winning this trade.
Oh wait, I need to conceal cards first. Let me go do that. Conceal cards.
Yeah, so we'll see if
and then out of these two.
If Etchy's forced to is able to force me to get more energy out of my deck with Primal Turbo. That could be the difference maker here.
For sure. And the way to do that is counter catcher. So that actually probably was a good enough reason to explore his guidance there. Just to dig for the counter catcher, because I ended up not getting it here, unfortunately. So it looks like this is just going to be another smack here. I do have Super Rod and Artisan in hand ready to replenish my Tusk if needed. But I do not need to do that right now. I'd rather wait and get as much value out of that rod as possible. This is probably a good time to Pal Pad, actually, because I am starting to run pretty low on available supporters. I should probably just go ahead and pop it, yeah. So we'll do a Pal Pad. I'm going to get back 2 Explorers here, because I still have my 2 Sadas in hand. Or I have 1 Sada in hand, I have another one in deck. And I do really need to aggressively dig for certain cards in these coming turns, so... Hopefully we can get one of those out shortly. I do have Pokegear available as well, so I should be able to get an Explorer next turn.
Yeah, so after this attack, I'll have 23 cards left in deck, and then I'll draw for turn, which making it 22.
Mm-hmm. And I will Ground Collapse.
2,
the Minion's a good get.
4. No energies, though, is
no energies, yep.
pretty helpful for me. All right, I'll draw for turn, and then I think I will just go ahead and Tempest Dive.
All right. I'll promote my Great Tusk. Gonna go ahead and draw for turn. I top deck the Explorer's Guidance. I did have one in hand too. I kind of forgot I had one in there already. I have just all the supporters I could possibly want and gears. So I went today. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Explorer's Guidance here. Like I said, I can go ahead and replenish my Great Tusk this turn as well if I want to. These cards are not great. I don't necessarily need the Rod at this point. I might, I kind of do, because it just depends if I am spamming Sada or Explorer these next couple turns. I think I am going to be primarily using Explorers. I just need to thin out my deck of a lot of these useless cards at this point. Unfortunately, I kind of need to keep Pidgeot unless I don't mill myself out, but I kind of need to dig my deck, so I think I have to keep it.
You can always super rod the Pidgeot back.
Oh, right,
if you
yeah.
need to,
right.
So, yeah.
I might actually just have to take Trekking Shoes here then. I want to dig more. I don't need the Artisan. I don't need the Comfey.
You just need to build 2 more Great Tusks.
Actually, I guess if I am getting rid of the Pidgeot, let me keep the Super Rod. So I'm going to go ahead and play out Trekking Shoes. Gear, don't need it. Did get a booster capsule, also don't need it, unfortunately. And now, all of a sudden, I wish I have plenty of double turbos in deck, too. This is a little unfortunate, but I think it's not worth it to Super Rod still here, because next turn I'm going to need a double turbo, or I'm going to need another energy. So I could just Super Rod after. Although if I get Iono this turn, then it's pretty bad. So I think I have to play it then. I don't need to get the Pidgeot back yet, though. I think I might just take an energy. Although I only have the 1 energy in the discard. No, I have 2. I'm going to grab 2 Tusks. Do I need 2 Tusks? 2.
Yep. Yeah, you'll need 2 more, because I'll knock out this one, this one.
But you can take this as
this
your
one. Yeah,
prize.
but I'll always be attacking.
Sure.
If you're not attacking on that last turn, you're going to be losing the game.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, the only other way I get out of that is Mimikyu, potentially. So yeah, we'll go grab those 2. I'll grab 1 energy. Going to shuffle that, and then while I do that, I will Ground Collapse for 4 more cards.
Right. Boss's
No,
Orders
energy
is
again.
slightly annoying, because that would always be good to get around Mimikyu if it ever does become a problem. But I will just go ahead and Tempest Dive.
This is a very exciting game. Draw for turn. So yeah, it looks like this Artisan time. I did top deck the double turbo, an Artisan. Grab one of those Great Tusk. I should have played the Artisan last turn and grabbed the Tusk already. Kind of forgot, because now I might have to be forced to potentially discard it here, because I don't want to Sada right now. Still, I want to Countercatcher if possible this turn.
Yeah, I think if you don't find a Countercatcher here, you probably lose the game. Actually, because I have
too many
17 cards left in deck, and you can only mill 15 in 3 turns. So
did get one. I did see the Tusk here, but I can always just Rod it, so it's not a big deal. Did get the energy too, which I might want to just take, honestly. What does my Explorer's Guidance count right now? So that'll be 3 if I discard that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'll discard those. I will Countercatcher the Archeops. I will go ahead and manual attach that energy. And then for booster purposes, now that you retreat, you're still always going to attack with the Lugia here, so I probably attach it here, I guess. I guess it only really matters if I Countercatcher Minccino, I guess.
Yeah, the booster capsules don't matter in this matchup at all. So.
Yeah, Hero's Cape is the only really relevant one. So yeah, I will Ground Collapse again. Get 2 energy. And the Iono.
Luckily, I do have 2 energy cards in hand, so I think it's actually impossible for me to lose this game. So I will retreat my Archeops and Tempest Dive, discarding the Artisan.
Yep. All right, I'll draw for turn. This is looking pretty grim. Let's see here. So I can play the Artisan again. Get another Tusk out. That's a Super Rod first. Go in Super Rod. Grab a Tusk.
So I think on this next turn, you're going to have to put Mimikyu active.
This turn or next turn?
Well, yeah, during your next turn, you'll have to end it with the Mimikyu active, because otherwise I'll just knock out whatever you have active and win the game.
Right, right.
So yeah, Mimikyu needs to come down this turn.
And I need to mill like 4 energy cards here.
Yeah, Mimikyu might have to attack or something soon.
Yeah, what's my psychic energy situation? So I have that one, I have that. Oh, I needed to rod the psychic then. Yeah. I'll rod that as my 3rd card. Do that. Unfortunately, I think I'm also out of emergency ports, so I have to nest ball for Mimikyu now then. So go ahead and do that. No, I have one more in deck. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and Sada. Draw 3. I did get the emergency board. I got another counter catcher. So I'm going to go ahead and counter catcher Archeops again. I have not attached for turn, so I'll go ahead and attach to Mimikyu. And I'll go ahead and attach to the emergency board as well. And then I will ground collapse again.
Right. A couple energies,
2 more energy.
But not enough. Let's see. So now I have to try and play around losing all my energy cards, because theoretically that is possible. So I'll go ahead and use the Artisan just to check what I have left. So I have 4 energy cards. 2 of them are jet energies. So 4, I need 2 attacks to win, so I can afford if these get milled. So yeah, I think I just need to prepare a Cinccino so that it's ready to knock out the Mimikyu, and then I should have no way of losing this game.
Do you have a Cinccino in hand?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I have 4. I do have both of my Cinccinos.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to evolve them here. Yeah, because they can both attack potentially. And then I will go ahead and... Okay, if I think about this, I need a 1 energy in hand to be able to retreat. Okay. Mimikyu has 70 HP, so I need to attach 3, but okay. This actually could get bad. I need to I need to be able to retreat. So theoretically, if I retreat this Archeops this turn, it could get counter-catchered again, in which case I need to retreat. So worst case scenario, I guess he can't mill the next turn because the Mimikyu has to be active.
Right. Yeah, if I'm not winning the game with the mill, I can't.
Can I find a way to set up my Cinccino and have an energy in hand so that if I don't get milled, I always have enough energy left?
I have to Bravery Charm this, don't I?
I think either way, I'm doing 140, so with Cinccino, it doesn't matter.
Stupid Hero's Cape.
So yeah,
okay, Hero's Cape to this makes a lot of sense though, in a lot of situations. So it's probably worth holding it most games for the Mimikyu.
I'll go ahead and use a Primal Turbo to attach an energy to Archeops this turn. Then I still have 1 left in hand, and I have 5 cards or 6 cards left in deck. So does it ever matter? I can. Yeah, I'm just going to retreat, knock out something that's counter-catchered, and mill. Then I have the energy to retreat. Otherwise, the Mimikyu comes up, and then I have cards in deck which I can use to Primal Turbo. So I think yeah, I've set up a checkmate board scenario here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, with what I have access to in my hand. Theoretically, I could get IO Node or something, so maybe I want to thin out my hand, but I don't think I'll play around that right now just to save time. And then I will go ahead and use the Tempest Dive and discard the Artisan.
All right. Promote the Mimikyu, draw for turn. Oh,
yep.
Earthen Vessel. Grab my 1 psychic. I can grab that too. Why not? There's nothing good left in my deck. I will, all I can do here for supporter is play Eerie. Show me your hand.
All right.
I will discard 2 items. With the Master Ball and the Ultra Ball. Why not? And then attach, and then Ghost Eye.
Yep. And then I've got either the boss's orders for game or the Archeops attach some energies. So I think this really showcases that as long as Lugia gets set up in this matchup, Great Tusk is short just a little bit, but that Hero's Cape could have made a difference.
Hero's Cape there would have actually been... Like, I had just enough energy cards discarded where this would have mattered. Obviously, it's so variable what's going to happen game to game with that. But if you discard just enough energy, then that can definitely... This is definitely the right combo. This is the pair, though.
Or even the Hero's Cape on the Great Tusk, I think, is what makes the most difference, because it forces me to go into Chinchino much earlier, which means I have to take energies out of my deck.
Anything to force you to attach some of that energy.
Yep.
Although, it kind of works out, too. It's a tricky timing thing, because there's, like, probably a correct, like, apex point where it's always correct to do it, because if I do it too early, I'm taking out cards for me to mill, energy cards for me to mill that I really want to get, right?
Yep.
So you have to time it, I guess, very specifically.
Yeah, towards the end of the game. But on Mimikyu, it's just falling back on the Mimikyu plan is always risky if you haven't milled all my boss's orders.
Yeah.
So.
And Lugia's not playing any vacuum right now, right?
Yep. No out to tool cards.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like everyone should be playing more vacuums, but also Lugia does need the consistency more than anything else, so it's kind of tricky. And that's it for our first tabletop match. We only recorded 1 match since we felt this matchup was pretty lopsided, but for the other matchups, we'll have 2 games for each of them. Notably, since Champions League, Great Tusk lists have started to include the Tempting Trap Mawile, which definitely could have opened up some different options in this matchup, forcing more energy to come down on the board and also creating some alternate lines as the game slows down. Some lists have also started throwing in a 1 of Hand Trimmer just to counter your opponent, keeping all their good cards in their hand. Definitely a strong option to consider. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.